I'd like to respond to some comments from my video Walk Around in Croydon that I put up a week or so ago. I'm not responding to any comments directly, but I've had several comments saying roughly the same thing. So one of the comments was that vegetables and things like that come out of the ground, so there'd be manure on them and various things like that. Well, firstly, I'd like to point out that it's usually pig manure rather than dog muck or human excrement or anything like that, or engine oil. Also, most vegetables are washed before they're served up to people. People should still wash vegetables themselves, but generally they're just sort of rinsed and rubbed or whatever, rather than like scrubbed in soapy water or put in a dishwasher or anything like that. Secondly, a number of people have pointed out that in the video it's showing immigrants doing the kind of jobs that British people don't want to do. It's not people not wanting to do those jobs, there's no incentive for it. People are often given more money to be on the dole, whereas immigrant populations tend to be subsidised by the taxpayer. Secondly, if British people were to try and compete with these immigrant workers for these low wage jobs, it would be a race to the bottom. Many of them are working for below the minimum wage, so British people would be forced to do the same and accept poor working conditions and things like that. People have put this up as like serious comments, that they believe that because immigrant workers are prepared to work for less, people are saying that British workers should be prepared to work for less as well and under worse working conditions. The unions claim to have improved working conditions over the years. A lot of it has nothing to do with the unions, but working conditions in Britain have improved over the past couple of centuries, up until probably the 1990s, when they started to deteriorate again. I started working in the 90s, in the early 90s, and it was a lot better than school. I enjoyed myself. There was a lot of banter, you had fun. It was mainly white people where I was working, whereas the school I went to was like over half ethnic. So it was good to get out into the workplace. But then probably from 97 onwards, I'm not the biggest defender of the Tories, but probably from when Labour got in, that's when things started to go down in workplaces in Britain. They started bringing in all these health and safety rules that weren't really to benefit people's health and safety. There was more a way of just controlling people. You were no longer allowed to have a laugh at work and things like that, and things started to go downhill from then. And then around 2001, when all the Eastern Europeans started coming over, you'd quite often find yourself, like Enoch Powell said in his famous Rivers of Blood speech, you'd quite often find yourself strangers in your own land. That it was as if we were the immigrants, and a lot of the time I'd be in a canteen or a room where I was working, and there'd be 4 or 5 other people, or maybe more, and I'd be the only one who spoke English. Not saying that they don't speak English, I'm saying that when they're amongst their own, they choose not to speak English.